Carrying on the hunt for Sheepsquatch, here we have a sighting of a mysterious creature up on Thomas Farm. Potentially Sheepsquatch? It's said to be described as an albino, a white creature, which always Sheepsquatch is. Now here on the actual farm, we're going to go and have a look in the barn first, see what they were hiding in here. We do have the collapsed house itself up there, but the barn itself looks a little bit more intact, so I'm going to have a look around here. Not much on this bottom floor. Going up though, we have some kind of glowing jar. It's for intravenous application to Winston. Now if we go on the terminal, we might learn a little bit more about that. So he's got to replace the warn labels on the drums so he don't spray the wrong stuff. He's doing something with an aerolyzer, and there's a good amount of residue building up at the bottom, and he's going to collect residues to check any imperfections on it. And he's found some deer who have been coming on that are bleach white, and they look like they've got lesions and sores all over their body. Now it wasn't on camera, but on my way to this location I did also find a lot of albino ride stags and an albino deathclaw as well. And he's been sticking Winston with needles, and cure number 3 is showing promise for the old boy. And here's the diagnosis for Winston. He actually has not a good diagnosis. But this farmer, he's going to be trying to make a cure because he's got his own Vault-Tec University chemistry degree, which is how he's built up all of this farm itself. So we can see here, cure 1 and 2 both didn't work. So gonna have a look around this top level. We can see some people were living here after the war. It looks like we've got some sleeping bags set out. It wouldn't make sense for anyone else to have sleeping bags if they had the house. See, this is the aerolyzer. Nothing much here right now. So heading over, just checking through the rest of the fields. Looks like there wasn't much of that windmill there. It definitely looks like he was growing quite a variety of different vegetables here. But heading over to the house itself, we have a note that he's going to the hunting cabin because that was Winston's favourite place. And for the diagnosis sheet, it looks like the diagnosis was large cell lymphoma. Having a look around, we also have a chemical testing kit, so we can grab that and we can head on over to the aerolyzer after doing a quick once over because we've still got some clues to find here. So I was going to double check all of this, see if there's anything in the van or hidden in here apart from a skeleton. Obviously not this guy himself because he's gone to the hunting cabin, but someone else, possibly one of the people who's been living in the barn this entire time. Just gonna again once over. The problem with these quests that they're given is there's not much detective work. It's more looking around until something pings up on your HUD more than all else. But gonna head on over to the aerolyzer, see what's going on over there, see if there are any clues here that will lead us to Sheepsquatch. The minute I'm leaning towards no. I'm gonna guess he's done something that's been creating these white creatures, but I don't think that it's the ones we're looking for. There's some chemical residue in the bottom of the tank still, so going to collect some of that. We can't look at any of these barrels, and if we touch any of the aerolyzer, it's the same kind of response. So if we now take that back inside the barn and head on upstairs to the computer, we can analyze the chemical sample from the aerolyzer. And it's some kind of antibiotic, antiparasitic agent, possibly from vets, which would make sense. He's been putting something in to cure his dog, and it looks like it's been having adverse effects on the local wildlife. Now, heading on back downstairs, we still have one last thing we need to find, and there it is. We just need to look at these chemical barrels, and they're for aerosol use only. Now we need to head on over here to his hunting cabin, and once we're here we just have one last note, a confession note, And what it was, that Winston's drugs weren't working, so instead he thought that if he put it on the aerolyzer and exposed him to them all the time, this would make Winston better, but instead it just mutated the creatures around the farm, and Winston still got worse. And if we head on outside, we can find both of them still here, just on the edge. They had quite a nice view, but they died together, and that whilst watching out along the cranberry bog. Now, next time you'll have to join me while we search for yet more clues looking for Sheepsquatch, and hopefully one of these leads will take us to him.